What's up, friend? Welcome back to my channel. Let me start by asking you this. Aren't you tired of being so mean to yourself all the time? Personally, I find it exhausting to be my own biggest hater, so I'm simply choosing to not. Having confidence and believing in yourself is the key to manifesting. If manifesting is the house, confidence is the foundation. If your confidence is shaky, the house isn't gonna stand, and in this analogy, we don't have like homeowners insurance or anything like that, so we've gotta get it together. This week, I wanna talk about my journey towards radical self-acceptance, how it has taken my manifestations to a whole nother level, and how you can implement it into your life to help with your manifestations and your goals, okay? So let's just get into it. First, we gotta talk about the concept of radical self-acceptance as a means to get to confidence, because it's not about just magically feeling better one day and deciding to stop being a hater. We don't do magic on this channel. I'm so sorry. Radical acceptance means embracing every single part of who you are. We're talking the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. It's acknowledging the darkest part of your shadow, embracing her, and loving her. And let me tell you, that is not easy. It actually takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of effort to use radical self-acceptance to manifest more effectively. But when you look in the mirror and you see all of those physical features that you're insecure about, and not only accept that they're a part of who you are, but also accept that sometimes you're gonna feel kind of shitty about them, that's the key. Me personally, growing up, I always hated my nose. I wanted a nose job when I was like 12, okay? It was not okay. I actually feel really sad when I look back at how self-conscious I was about it. But as the years went on, I realized that I was just wasting my time ruminating on the fact that I hated my nose and then ruminating on the fact that I was my own biggest bully, and so I just felt worse and worse. It was a really bad cycle. Yes, I was tired of being a hater, but I also had to take the time to have that realization that it really wasn't about my nose. Even if I'd gotten the nose job and really liked my nose, I would have found something else to be insecure about because I was just a self-conscious, insecure person. Insecurity has always been a huge part of my shadow. And feeling insecure or self-conscious is something that about 99.999% of human beings have in common, so chances are that it's part of your shadow too. So anyway, over time it became less and less about changing the things that I was insecure about and more so about changing my perspective on feeling insecure. It was either that or get the nose job and feel better about my nose and then feel bad about my chin, and so then I get a chin implant, but then when I do the chin, I feel bad about the cheeks, so I just know that somewhere down the line I would have ended up getting that surgery where they break your legs to make you 2 inches taller. It would have gone far. And I'm being a little dramatic about it, but I truly do believe that if I hadn't changed my viewpoint on insecurity, I would have just kept finding more and more things to be insecure about and changing more and more things about myself. And that shit gets expensive. So how do we get to this point where we can look our insecurity in the eye, pull it in for a hug, and make the decision to love it? Make the conscious decision to notice it first. And I don't mean like look in the mirror and notice that you have a huge schnoz. I mean look in the mirror, notice that you're starting to have thoughts about your big schnoz, and make the decision to go a little deeper. When you feel your insecurity creeping in, just ask yourself, what's happening right now? What part of my shadow needs attention? And most importantly, what is the truth and what about it? What now? Okay, so what's happening right now? I'm looking in the mirror and all I see is my acne and I feel really bad about it. What part of my shadow is asking for attention? My insecurity about my appearance. What is the truth? I feel insecure about my acne and I'm gonna make the decision to accept the fact that I feel insecure and acknowledge that being insecure is just a part of who I am. And what about it? What now? I'm gonna sit in my insecurity. I'm gonna acknowledge it, I'm gonna explore it, and I'm gonna remove that shame and replace it with love. Radical self-acceptance is not running away from your insecurities. It's noticing your insecurity, sitting in it, and accepting that insecurity is just part of being human. It's just part of who you are. And this takes time and practice. It's essentially mindfulness. Being super aware of your thoughts and their patterns, diving into them a little bit more deeply than you normally would, and sitting there in order to better understand them. When you become a little bit more mindful about your insecurity, you start to understand it a lot more. You slowly start to realize, okay, it's not about my nose, it's not about my acne, it's about my perception. And let me tell you, your perception is a lot easier and cheaper to fix than your body parts. I'm just trying to help you save some time and money here at the end of the day. As we start to become more mindful and accepting of our insecurities, the door to confidence starts to crack open a little bit. Do me a favor and look up the dictionary definition of confidence. Okay, fine, you don't have to look it up, I'm just gonna tell you. you. Confidence does not mean the state of being that you're in when you finally realize that you're hot enough. Let me read you the straight up Merriam-Webster definition of confidence. It says a feeling or consciousness of one's powers or of reliance on one's circumstances. Also, the quality or state of being certain. This is what I mean when I say that the foundation of your manifestations or your goals in general is confidence. It's about being certain. It's about knowing who you are and what you're capable of. It's about trusting your intuition and your perception. When you can rise to the occasion and bring that certainty, your manifestations will reflect that. Accept that your struggles, your insecurities, your negative traits are an essential part of who you are and therefore are imperative to your manifestations. Being able to accomplish your goals doesn't come from feeling like you're perfect or like you never make any mistakes and that you can do no wrong. It actually comes from resilience. I think that radical self-acceptance is also important because it leads to radical acceptance of others. When you stop judging yourself, you stop judging other people too. And I think the reason for this is because so much of our self-judgment comes from comparison. When you're constantly comparing your physical features, your personality, your journey to other people, you become hyper aware of them. And this hyper awareness opens the door for a lot of judgment. Especially if your insecurity is strong, you're gonna take a lot of that self-judgment out on other people. And I'll give you a personal example because I used to do this all the time. It is embarrassing, but we trust each other, right? I can be vulnerable with you. I was working this corporate job that was the definition of boring. I'm talking like fluorescent lighting, cubicle. I mentioned in my vlog last week that I once wore a Hillary Clinton pantsuit to a job interview. Yeah, it was for this job. Anyway, I wanted so badly to feel a sense of creativity and freedom in my day-to-day life. I had started blogging and spending more time outside of work doing things that brought me joy, but I couldn't get past just the soul-crushing nature of showing up there and being there all day, every day. And as a result of going to this job every day and my blog not really doing anything and just feeling really creatively unfulfilled, I started to get really judgmental of other people. I would look at people who had left their 9-to-5s and started creating content full time and just judge the hell out of them. She's saying she's stressed out and busy. Please, she makes one video and goes to get her nails done and makes thousands of dollars. Wow, that person signed a deal with Nike. Doesn't even look good. I'm so embarrassed for them. In reality, I should have been embarrassed for myself. But these are seriously the kind of thoughts that I had because I was so unhappy with my own life that it seriously made me mad to see other people living out the life that I wanted. And of course, now that I actually do content creation and don't have a stable job, I completely understand that, you know, it is very stressful. It ain't easy. But aside from that, even when I was still working in a corporate job, I started to get this sense of self-acceptance that made me a lot less judgmental of myself and my progress, and therefore I was less judgmental of other people. When I stopped judging myself, part of that realization was that everyone's on their own timeline, everyone's on their own journey, we're all doing different stuff, and that's okay. You have no idea what people are going through, you have no idea what kind of insecurities they're dealing with. You're looking at people online and being like, oh my god, they have my dream life, I hate them, and in reality, they're crying themselves to sleep every night. Like, you really just don't know. Everyone's life really is so different, and if you look at it from a non-judgmental lens, it actually makes things a little bit more exciting. So stop judging yourself so much, and you're gonna see how much your perception of other people shifts. You're just gonna become the kind of person who stays in their lane and accepts other people for who they are. Long story short, too late, radical self-acceptance is something that has really changed my life for the better over the past couple of years. It's changed the way that I see myself, of course, but it's also changed the way that I see my journey and the world around me. I feel freed from the chains of comparison, and I feel like I have so much more energy to devote towards making my manifestations happen because I'm not wasting all of it on hating myself. And that is all that I want for you. I want you to be able to look in the mirror and feel proud of the person that you are, flaws and all. I want you to understand that your shadow is just part of who you are, and it shouldn't be a source of shame. In the words of Kesha, we are who we are. And that's worth celebrating. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was great to chat. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what you're working on. What's going on in your life? Where are you? What's up? And I'll catch you on my video next weekend. Love ya.